So when it comes to, once you have your own satellite and you launch your satellite, as Nikhil and Sir explained, you need to actually communicate with it, right? You need to talk to these satellites. So how do you do that? And you need some kind of a license or something to operate, because anyone who operates with satellites is a ham radio operator, and he's licensed to operate on these bands that are actually there. See, even when it comes to satellite TV, it is in under a frequency band plan that is, planned and, there. So for having this license, you can actually, get a radio that is a handheld like this and receive any satellite information that you launch or you want to access from, and also have it in your computer by connecting this wirelessly to your computer also. So this is also an advantageous part of life, where you can actually do community service, where students will be recognized as, you can represent Kalvi group of institutions outside your school itself in the city, where, there are events like, flooding or any other, torrential rains that happen, or any other emergency that's there in the city. Students can be there. They can provide ham radio communications to and fro when there is no cell phone coverage. The radio is the only thing that, helps communicate with, through the air. So this is where students can, get the license. It's called an amateur radio's license, and you will be, licensed to operate on these bands. And that will help you, because even satellites operate on, ISM bands that are, 433 megahertz, that is upper UHF, and VHF ranges. So these ranges are actually licensed. And once you get these license to operate on these bands, you can even listen into weather satellites. You can even actually communicate to, say, for example, Sunita Williams, who's actually on board the International Space Station. If you dial in 145-800, you can actually speak to Sunita Williams over the satellite radio, and that's how you can make communications. And you can, as friends, and not just as an hobby, but also you can experiment with long distance communication with the handheld radios. And also you can develop your own antennas. You can come up with ideas, because a thin strand of wire is actually, a radiating element. So once that is connected to the radio itself, it acts as an antenna. So this is where you can actually communicate over long distances. Say, for example, you want to communicate to a satellite, or you want to communicate to a friend that is living far away from you, you can actually communicate with the radio itself, and you don't need to actually have to call him or her and talk to them. And that's where you need to get the license. So what we plan to do here in Kalvi is actually bring in a expert who can actually guide you through the process of getting a license. Basically, you need to write an exam, and that exam will get you a license where you can operate. So once you operate, you can actually have your own ground station set up in school, and you can actually monitor satellites by receiving weather satellite images, and weather satellite images, and amateur radio satellites. There are many voice Oscar satellites that are available, where you can talk to another person from through a satellite. So this is a very interesting opportunity for students to have. So communication plays a very big role in any satellite communication. So I truly promote this as a hobby, and also as an innovative and an innovation for the students to actually develop and come up with their own ideas to actually communicate better in situations where the communication is very important. Thank you.
ini sarvadesha kalvi samanyargalukku Kalvi Group of Schools.